Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Or I suppose, welcome to a new video series that I'm going to be doing with a very special friend of mine. Would you like to say hello?
Oh, it's me, Levy from Soul Hackers, but don't worry about that. If you didn't watch that, I'm also in the reaction videos. Those come out later.
Yep. Alrighty. So, I am going to be doing a RWBY sort of discussion with Levy here because the both of us are big fucking RWBY nerds, and holy shit, this is fucking episode 1 for volume 9. I will admit that even though we've seen at least like 4 to 5 minutes of it in like trailers and such, it held a fuckload of information. Especially with how the volume's gonna play out and what themes we're gonna be dealing with. Along with a new fucking intro made by Casey Lee Williams instead of Jeff. Which is actually gonna be really nice.
Oh, wait, Casey made the intro this time around? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, she did. It was announced. I'll go ahead and put it up like on the video later. You'll be able to see it once editor me gets a hold of this. Casey is the one that is now composing RWBY's soundtrack. It's essentially a passing of the torch. Jeff retired, but in turn, he passed down essentially his job to Casey. So all of the music that we have been hearing is from Casey and her selection of her audio team. So holy shit, fucking amazing. I will say, like,
she's been singing this song since the start, so like, girl knows what she's doing. I trust her entirely.
I absolutely trust her entirely, especially with that like intro. Like, holy shit, you have to admit that fucking music slapped. That was some good shit right there, huh?
It was really nice.
All right, so shall we get talking about the episode itself, starting with RWBY's perspective of what happened during Volume 8.
Okay, yeah. What happened during Volume 8? It was basically what happened in Volume 8, like, just from what she saw alone. Like, and she saw a lot less than we did.
Yep. And what we can take note as well, there's a little something. I'm probably going to post a screenshot of it there. I don't know if you've noticed, Levy, but when Cinder was there kicking off RWBY and Neo at the same time, her eyes were like her vision was tinged with silver. So it meant that she was trying at least to back Cinder away, but she either couldn't muster it or didn't have the time to set it up, which could be an interesting, I suppose, like an interesting little theme or like a sort of work that could be explored in this volume depending on how this world is.
Oh yeah, didn't you notice her trying to channel it like during the volume or during that episode in Volume 8 or the finale? That's what specifically when it was. Like, she actually tries to channel it and we see that her eyes start to glow before she gets knocked off.
Which is actually pretty interesting that we get to see it from that perspective. It does tell me as well that maybe when you channel it, that silvery tinge might just cover your eyesight. So you might temporarily at least just lose your vision in turn to just blast out as much power as possible. That could be like the thought process for me.
I would explain another reason why Maria could have gone blind if it wasn't for the fact that we literally saw her get slashed. Like, I wonder if Silver-Eyed Maidens lose their vision over time.
That could be an interesting dichotomy that they could explore, that like this great power comes at a great cost. I really want to see that, like, if that's an actual thing or if it's just a visual detail to denote it. But speaking of Neo and RWBY falling down the world, can we talk about the fact that fucking Neo is being a complete and utter savage, turning into the various people that RWBY cares about, trying to kill her? Holy shit, this woman does not know when to stop.
While they're plummeting to their deaths.
While they're plummeting to their deaths. She's like, bitch, I'm gonna take you out with it. And you're gonna know the fact that even though it was me that took you out, you're gonna see that these people hate you more. Like, basically. Like, that's what it felt like. Like, Neo was intentionally impersonating some people, trying her fucking best to like take RWBY out and show like, no, you're gonna die, and the last face you're gonna see is your friends killing you, and that's it. Like, holy shit, man.
Neo's so petty and like fucking it's Salem's fault that Torchwick is dead. God damn it, Neo. You're one of my favorite non-pro tags, but you're so dumb.
I wouldn't say dumb. I'd just say extremely petty. It would make sense in her character. Have you read any of the RWBY books by any chance, or at least like known about them somewhat?
I've known about them, but I haven't looked at those in forever. I only rewatched the videos before this series, or this season came out.
That is unfortunate, but I did manage to read Neo's book, which was called Roman Holiday. You know, it was when Neo and Roman first met up. That's just a very, very short summary of what happens in that book. There's a lot more. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Trust me, read the books. But in it, Neo is shown to be very petty. Like extremely petty. She's willing to do this shit, like if it means she can spite the person. Like even she even murdered her family just because it felt good to do it after how her family treated her. She does not give a flying fuck.
Yeah. Petty bitch. Yeah. Love it though. Love her. She's great.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Do you want to talk about the mice and the cheese plants?
Oh fucking Christ! I don't even know if there's any way to explain the ever after. Like that's what this area is called, the ever after. That's what officially it's denoted from trailer releases and different press materials. It's like, I suppose it's a zone of fairy tales, because that's the only way you could explain the cheese plants constantly warping back and forth in the same fucking spot. The shoe bills that are like, they almost look like they're like stitched together. Like, I don't know if you noticed like the shoe bill's eyes and all that.
Yeah, those. And of course, the biggest thing, which Editor Aeon slapped the fucking photo of RWBY falling down here with this thing in the background. The Jabberwock is what you're thinking it was?
Yes. Okay. So, we're skipping a little bit of parts, but like a lot of it is mainly just before we get to the Jabberwock, because that is an entire different beast that I want to talk about, but I want to make sure that I'm getting my sources right on this. So, before we get to that fucking thing, let's set up the little thing between Weiss essentially hiding the truth, or at least trying to like not fully disclose what happened up there when RWBY and Blake and Yang fell.
I remember from her point of view, but like I don't know if she fully knows everything. Like I don't know if she thinks Jean did the kill, or if he just helped Penny make that choice.
From what she says and what we see in the episode, most likely she thinks that Jean did in fact deal the blow to her, but it must have been for a good reason. Otherwise she wouldn't defend Jean in the way that she did, in the way that she's like, he was trying to help her, but Penny sacrificed. It's a very particular choice in dialogue, because when you say that someone sacrificed themselves, that means that they did it on their own rather than having someone kill them in order to sacrifice themselves.
No, that definitely depends on your point of view, because I could say someone sacrificed themselves, or I could say I'm sacrificing myself but ask someone to kill me to like help me make that sacrifice, because I myself do not have the will to do it by my own hands.
Which I could see. I think that might be, at the very least, I think that might be like an interesting sort of plot point where Weiss sees it as that way, but RWBY could see it an entirely different way. Because probably to RWBY hearing that Penny sacrificed herself meant that her friend just, died essentially because of her actions. And she wouldn't realize unless Jean mentions it that
you fucking murdered Penny, you monster!
Yeah. I have a feeling that if Ruby finds out Jean was the one that killed Penny, it doesn't matter for whatever reason, whether Penny wanted to or not, Ruby's gonna be out for fucking blood. She's gonna want something.
I hope to God they don't do that route, to be honest, because like that was Penny's decision, and she has no right to judge them for that decision.
I feel like it would make like an interesting conflict, though. Like it would mean that like if we ever get to see Penny again, most like not obviously alive, but like maybe as like a vision or like something that the Ever After conjures for Ruby.
Man, I don't know. Penny's the one girl in this show who can defy death.
Like, let's be real here. If we bring back Penny, it's gonna be in like somewhere where she can't come back with the rest of the crew. Like she's stuck in the Ever After at the very least, or she's like some sort of reflection of her soul.
I mean, her body had to have fallen down here because like Winter didn't take it with her.
Yeah, that's true. Her body did fall. It's very difficult to say because technically her soul passed on, but her body's most likely in the Ever After, which means that there could be all sorts of fucky things. Oh god, Jean could have encountered her body. That would be fucking morbid, huh?
That would explain the knighthood even more, where he's just like, I must don my armor.
Yeah, holy shit. Okay. Whew, man.
Yo, you should like put that knight screenshot real quick and just be like, hey, this is the knight in the like what's the thing called again? Starter thing.
Yeah, in the intro. Don't worry.
Intro, that's the fucking word. My god, I'm so stupid.
You're
intro,
good.
that's the knight in the intro. We haven't seen it yet in the actual show, but that thing, we think that's Jean.
Oh, it's I don't. For me, it's not even a thought. The armor matches too well. Jean's fucking motif of like running out of time within the intro. No shot. I'm willing to stake my claim on it being Jean. Oh, okay.
Bet on it, but I'm not gonna stake a full claim on that.
I'm sticking a claim. I'm that fucking confident. All right, but let's whirl ourselves back to Yang fighting the fucking Jabberwock. That's what I'm calling it. It could have an official name, but from where I stand, that creature is the Jabberwock. Like from
Done with you yet? Chucks a fucking boulder.
Listen, that is the only way you can introduce Yang back into the series. Just, hey fucker, I'm not done with you, and just fucking assault someone. That is the only way you can introduce her.
You could introduce her plenty of other ways, but like, come on, that was gold.
That is iconic. Come on, that is the most Yang thing Yang would ever do. Okay, but in all seriousness, the Jabberwock. For those of you that don't really know, it is a creature from a poem called the Jabberwocky that is from Alice in Wonderland's like sort of repertoire, specifically in Alice in the Looking Glass. It's a specific creature that it talks in nonsense words, basically words that are mirrored or like picked off from certain sentences. The thing that clued me in was how do I say this? It was the constant like hearing, listening, searching. Like you heard its dialogue, right?
Yes, it has to be the Jabberwock. I won't be convinced it's something else.
It could be a combination of the Jabberwock and something else. Like the way that it looks too. I think that it might be like. I think it might be like some either offspring or like a aspect of the God of Darkness. Mainly because of the way that it looks and the way that it acts. It's like a very aggressive and destructive creature.
Acting like a Grimm.
Yeah, I don't know if... Because here's the thing, right? Grimm wouldn't back down that easily. Like this thing...
Yeah, no, obviously it wouldn't back down that easily. But it acted like a smart Grimm because Salem did make the wolf that was really clever. So
yeah, the Hound. It did act like the Hound, yeah. which
Yeah.
that would be interesting if it's like another hound type creature and it's going to be constantly hunting them. Which, another thing that I noticed, I don't know if you saw it, but everyone else is getting exhausted completely. Like when Yang fought the Jabberwock and Blake tried to basically like counter the Jabberwock's attack, you can see them like taking actual effort. They're not just like blocking it effortlessly. I think that their aura still hasn't been replenished, or it's just gone completely.
It's possible aura doesn't exist down in the fairy tale land.
It would make for a very interesting thing, because all of a sudden, guess what? No fucking superpower, no like, deflection of energy. Yeah, basically no literal plot armor. They are down there and they can be fucked. They are screwed, basically. Whew, man.
That would be interesting to see.
Yeah, the creature brought so many interesting things. Like, so many interesting aspects, like what it could be, why it's acting the way that it is, and showing the fact that, yeah, the gang doesn't really know, like, I don't even know if the gang knows that they're out of aura, or if, like, they can be properly energized. They have their weapons, but that's about it.
I don't know. We'll have to see if they activate their semblances at some point, because, like, if they activate their semblances without mentioning any aura problems beforehand, then they know they have their aura because they can't activate their semblances without it. The show has literally confirmed that as canon.
Yeah, so most likely if we see semblance activation of any kind, then we will know for sure that aura does work and they just needed rest. But it could also depend, because if they have no rest throughout the rest of the series and they're running around getting attacked constantly, they're fucked. They're still fucked, because aura needs needs to recharge. It's like a battery. The show has explicitly mentioned this, so it's kind of wild. Oh man. Okay, so let's see. We talked about the Jabberwock. We talked about Ruby's dichotomy possibly with Jean. We talked about the generalness of the Ever After. Any other things we want to talk about before we go into the intro?
No, and a lot of the things we've been discussed are in the intro, so there's only a couple more things to cover. One of which that I really, really want to cover is Ederayon, slap her here. That photo of Ruby falling with the mouse and the girl, I really want to discuss her. I'm so suspicious of the fact that she could be Penny.
See, on the one hand, I'm interested in that, because I do wonder if that's like an aspect of Penny, maybe, or if that's what Penny's based on. But on the other hand, I know for a fact that the girl that fell through the world is specifically, that's her appearance, at least. Or, like, that's at least her, like, story that they're going through. So, I don't know if it's, like, Penny in a different, like, soul reincarnated almost, or if it's like Alex, the name of the girl that fell through the world.
That girl introduces herself as Alice. One, god damn it. Secondly, okay.
It would make sense. I mean, RWBY is nothing but based on fairy tales. Everything is based on fairy tales, mythologies, and stories throughout, like, the fucking world.
Just want Penny back.
You just want Penny back. That's it. You just listen, man. Everyone wants Penny back. I know, but
that moment during, like, I think it was episode 5 when she started falling from the sky. My heart. That was such good dialogue. I love you.
Oh god, it's that by the way, that is the last line that Pietro ever heard from her. So to his knowledge, she's just fucking dead.
Yeah. By the way, people who are watching the video, you can back up to look at that screenshot if you need to. I want to know what that silhouette is behind that girl. Who is that older looking woman?
Now here's where I come in with my fucking crackpot theory. So in the trailers, there's specifically a woman that has been shown always in silhouette, constantly behind the forge light. I think that woman, if not the mother of the girl that fell through the world, I think she's the Lady of the Forge. Here's my idea. Hear me out here. I think that based on all the fairy tales that RWBY has done so far, the Lady of the Forge could be a blacksmith type fairy tale brought to life in this new version. She could be reforging people's identities.
Oh, animes were like this character.
Oh, I absolutely know she would. It would be an interesting concept to explore in the show, especially because the entire point of this season is supposed to be about identity. Who or what are you exactly? When you remove all the titles, all the different things, what are you? What are you exactly? What are you really? Boiled down to your essence. And I think that this silhouetted figure, if it's not the Lady of the Forge, might be a reference to like the girl that fell through the world's mother or her previous life. That's my thoughts on it, at least. What about you, Levy? What do you think?
I can't say anything but I agree with that. That actually sounds really smart.
Like I said, this is completely crackpot. I could be like shooting for the moon and have it hit my fucking face. This is completely crackpot, but if it is, I'm gonna pop the fuck off so goddamn hard. Oh my god. Woo, man. All right, so speaking of actually the intro and silhouetted figures, did you see in the intro Neo standing in front with a bunch of silhouetted people behind her?
Likely all of the faces she's going to take.
Oh, I don't think it's the faces she's gonna take, because here's my thing. I think she integrated herself into the Ever After and she's creating her own syndicate. She's the Mad Hatter in this world, essentially.
Oh my god, she is the Mad fucking Hatter. I didn't even think about that. Oh my god.
It was when she had the teacup. I was looking at it and I'm like, wait a second. The hat, the clothes, the fucking tea. She is the Mad Hatter, essentially. And I
don't know how the quiet bitch makes a syndicate.
Oh, come on. Let's be real here. In the Ever After, the ability to change constantly your appearance. Let's be real here. She is 100% going to be able to constantly change her appearance, morph, and like essentially create her own syndicate of like fucking like evil ass fairy tales of her own. And the
characters there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
4 to her left, 4 to her right, 1 behind her.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I can tell is because of the person next to the person on the far right. Their legs are pointing off to the right, while there is another set of legs standing perfectly still. Yeah,
so most likely we're dealing with 9 people in her like inner circle. Which
you have to question how they get together so quick.
I mean, it depends realistically, because time could be kind of fucked in the Ever After. For what RWBY, Weiss, Blake, and Yang could be feeling, maybe Neo's fucked off somewhere else and time just does not exist. So maybe for them, it probably felt like 5 minutes, but for Neo, it probably felt like a year or 2. The concept has been done before. It'd be pretty interesting to see.
Would be interesting, but I'd also be like, how much time has passed in the real world then? What is
Oh boy.
God, could you imagine if they came back out to a broken world?
That is gonna fuck with so many fucking people. There's gonna be like, oh fuck. That's a theory that's been passed around and people are like, nope, don't like it. Stop. I don't want to think about it. But the main
really put a fuck counter on this video.
Yeah. Oh god. Here's the main thing about the intro that interests me in terms of like genre specifically though, because there is like something that interested me. The motif of like clocks that suddenly stop when he's around, like just for that one shot, and then the shot after the next time we see something similar to him is a night figure. And not just that, but it's also in the poster, and he seems to be with a rabbit of sorts.
Oh god, what's that rabbit called in Alice in Wonderland again?
Jackalope, most likely. I think they're going for a jackalope, because if you look at the rabbit, it has like, you know, the tufts, but it also has what looks to be like the basis of horns almost on its skull.
Jackalopes are so cool.
God. Here's the thing, right? I'm gonna slap this on the video as well. The first thing we see in the intro is Neo and Jean, and they're both like, you know, monochromatic, like solid color, except for Jean. Jean is the only one out of the entire group that isn't monochromatic. You want to know what's the color disrupting it? The blood on his sword.
Yeah, honestly, you pointing that out so much, it feels like they're going to make the Weiss Penny Jean thing like important just because of that.
Here's the thing. I think that it's not just that. I think it's important to show that all the other characters, they're all monochromatic, but Jean is the only one that isn't monochromatic. He has the red stain. I think it's disrupted his identity. The fact he had to take a life like that, it's fucked with him on a level that he can't understand. So maybe that's why he transitions into a knight. Like the knight like that. He's basically just snapped and gone delusional. I genuinely think he's not going to make it out of this volume.
Oh no, he's gonna go see Pyrrha.
Oh, not like that, man. I think you traumatized several people with that line. Fuck. Oh, Christ. Oh, I don't... Like, that's the thing, right? I don't know. Dawn right now is in such a precarious position as a character. He could legitimately just die or stay in the ever after, depending on what happens this volume. Whew, man.
So curious.
It makes me genuinely fucking curious. There's
I'm going to make a fuck counter next time we record.
Listen, if you make a fuck counter, that shit's gonna go like up to 100 by episode 3. Guaranteed.
No, each episode gets their own counter.
Okay, well in that case, I guess.
And then I'll add them together for the season finale.
Add them all together for the season finale. God. Alright.
Let's see. What else is there?
There is one last thing. The mural that has like basically RWBY falling through, and you see like all the painted stuff, like with like the girl that fell through the world, you know, Little, the knights, the queens.
To put in the spots, yeah?
Yeah. The very end of it, and I mean the very, very end, the last person we see, the like most impactful shot is just Neo. This this like
editor Aeon screenshot.
Don't worry, I'll show it off. But you can see that it's like a pink shower, like, you know, similar to like the mirrors that break apart from her, all coalescing on her.
She's so fucking pretty in this shot. God.
She is pretty. Yes, you will have several fucking people that will agree with you on that and possibly simp. But
I'm already on that list.
But the main thing that interests me is that that's the final shot of that mural. That it's Neo that we're seeing. I think, and here's the boldest thing I'm gonna probably say in this video. I think the Ever After is based entirely in Neo's mind.
Given her illusion powers, I wouldn't be surprised if this was morphed around to her, because she actually was the first person to fall. She landed before RWBY did.
Yeah, granted, not the first person to fall, like, you know, Yang, but...
No, Yang fell first. Fuck, never mind. That theory's entirely blown out of the water. We would be in Yang's mind then. Oh god, that'd be...
Well, here's the thing, though. The thing that I think might tie this together is that a lot of, like, in Roman Holiday, Neo's been shown to like read stories, and her entire personality is based on her being free and such. The fact that the volume 9 intro wants us to see that the like last shot of the mural containing the entire events of what could possibly be their story is Neo. I think that this fairy tale at the very least is based around Neo's sort of memories, or maybe like her story reading that she did over time in her childhood.
That's possible. It could also be leading to like two other things. Like one, Neo's the overall antagonist of this season,
which would make sense.
Another thing is that she could be just the most important character in this season because she's gonna get like such massive developments.
Which I can already hear the people that love Neo are shouting at the rooftops, yes, finally, holy shit.
No, for real though, girl needs it. Holy fuck, if you don't do anything to look at the main series, like, wow, she has jack shit.
Oh, yeah, no. If this is her volume, let her fucking have it. Shit, man.
Girl's been here since season fucking 1. Or no, wait, season 2. She's been here since season 2. Back in like 2014, 15. 8 to 9 years of Neo. And we get nothing for her basically in the main series for story.
Yeah. Which is a little sad, but at the same time, it's like, if we do finally get to see like an expansion of her character, like super big expansion, I'm genuinely curious how it's gonna turn out.
I can't wait.
Oh man, fuck. There is one last thing I want to talk about the intro, and that's the music, and specifically the lyrics.
Okay. I couldn't hear those too well, but it did sound like it had a good beat and whatnot.
It had a good beat and all that, but my main thing is that, like, I managed, in the meantime, while we were discussing, to pull up a transcription, a rough one, provided by Casey. She got at least some of it for us to see. Bless Casey Lee Williams. Holy shit. The mother, the Holy Spirit, and the daughter on that one. But
it's the Mother, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. Get it right. Damn.
Shush. Anyways, the main thing about the lyrics that interests me is like a specific part in the chorus where it's like, inside a new me, I'm ready, but who will I find inside? I've got to let go, but could I lose my mind inside? Our worlds unwind. Most likely, I think that this intro is like based around like RWBY's sense of self, essentially. She's in this world where she could just go completely undone, and she has no clue what she's gonna find.
I can't wait to see what happens. Oh, I'm so curious.
It's gonna be so fucking good. I cannot wait for episode 2. And I will just add like some final thoughts a little bit, just like some little things that I noticed throughout the episode. Like Yang, for example, having her arm gone, I think that's like good. Like a lot of people find that good because, you know, they wanted to see like Yang without her arm a lot more instead of her just having like the prosthetic. They're just like, yeah, you know, like more representation for that sometimes just don't have the money for prosthetics and all that. So she could just like be like functioning without an arm. There's that. Should we talk about the lesbians tackle?
Blake just tackled Yang like really, really fucking hard and it was super gay. We can't put that screenshot here, but like,
no, we can. I can do that. You doubt my editing abilities.
Oh, I more so just meant like, I'm not sure how much we're allowed to show from the show.
Oh, absolutely. Just so long as it's not the entire fucking episode.
Oh, cool. Lesbians!
A lesbian win for everybody. The bees are celebrating.
Confetti. The birth of Adam. Like Yang and Blake.
Oh god. Congratulations, bees, you win. But yeah. like, fuck. Apart from that, I genuinely think that what hammers home that identity theme that this volume might have is the, like, first couple of shots where we see the progression of everyone, like Wise, Blake, Yang. And then RWBY goes back. I don't know if you noticed that, where she's...
Oh, I noticed. That was in the middle of the goddamn screen. Plain as day.
Yeah,
I was like, ooh.
She's regressing, and I'm like, oh man, this volume's gonna fucking brutalize her. And I've been wanting to see that for a while now. This girl's been holding in so much fucking drama. This girl has so much anxiety. I'm surprised she hasn't snapped at all. Oh man, fuck. Well, I think that's about as much as we can exhaust, unless you got thoughts of your own, Levy.
No, I already got all my thoughts out so far. It was good having this discussion, and I can't wait to do it again next week. The excitement's building.
Oh man, I miss RWBY season. This felt good to do. Well then.
Can't wait to watch everyone else's reactions too.
Oh, this is gonna be fucking great. I'm gonna post this shit. But regardless, thank you everybody for watching till the end, hopefully, and listening to our thoughts here. This has been Aeon.
This has been Levy.
Signing off.